Well, I'm excited. You said, well, we should pose such questions to military experts, but being someone, a politician and a political leader, how would you want this resolved? Because your input is important here, since comments are coming from the political class.
Train the military to fight insurgency. It's not a conventional war. Let them be adequately paid, because there are suggestions that funds required for the troops, the funds don't get there, and they were disgruntled. All these facts were in the papers.
So
fund them.
Who is supposed to do this funding?
It's a structure. When you provide the funds, it is not the president that will say, let these troops get the funds. But when they now started to complain, you must be able to tell them, look what is happening.
So has the president told them?
Of course.
To ensure that the monies get...
Of course. That's what I've done now.
You said something earlier, and you said something about governance. You seem to insinuate that governance or declaration for second term in office is the same thing as governance.
No. It's an opportunity for you to have a scorecard. And that's what I've given you now. What have you been doing in the last 4 years? You tell the people, and what do you want to do more that will require declaring to continue in office.
Let's move on, since well, we seem to have a whole lot on our plate. And one other issue, you're based in Lagos.
Yes.
So what's your assessment of the distribution of the permanent voter cards?
I was surprised when the governor raised an alarm. I would have expected him to invite the state INEC commissioner for a discussion and ask him, what are the problems? Can we assist you? Everything is political. What I did was to ask the INEC official in my local government, I said, what is happening? And she explained to me, and I was satisfied. That number one...
This was explanation.
Yes, there are 0 polling booths where, because of multiple registration or problem in the system, they have been wiped out. And they now have to repeat from beginning registration. That is one. The other one is collection of the PVC, permanent voters card. The staff there, yes, they were trained, but the number of people converging at the same time were too many for them to cope with. And instead of everybody now lining up, you know the Nigerian tradition, you want to be attended to because you are a big person. So they were crowded. Some of us have to say, no, line up. These people are not as old as you are. Let us give them time to do the job. And it's a little bit cumbersome. They have to look for your card. They have to give you a form. You not fill the form, but at least you thumbprint, then they give you. It was slow at the beginning. But in the second day, the third day, they picked up. But INEC is not explaining enough. And people should not treat INEC as if it's a part of any political party. It's an independent body. And anybody has the right to criticize them, but offer them assistance. And they told me, look, why are we in a hurry? This PVC collection is till December. That if you don't collect right now, you can come to their secretariat and collect. So you don't need to be in a hurry. The continuous registration too is going to be between now and December. It's not going to end. Everybody will be given the opportunity to register. And I was satisfied. But INEC is not telling the people this, that it is not a 3-day affair. They are only going to exhibit it.
You know, a situation whereby at that point in time, the governor, the deputy, the speaker, and some other Lagosians having received their permanent voter cards, one would have thought that for the first time we should have had a louder voice from the two major political parties in the state, the APC and the PDP, on the nonchalant attitude or lackadaisical, the shoddy nature with which INEC carried out that particular exercise. But people are surprised that for the PDP here in Lagos, they said it was a situation whereby so many people had difficulty getting their cards, and as we speak, presently, a whole lot more haven't actually seen their cards.
Ask the leader of the place. You don't have to go on the air. When you have access to him, call the commissioner. What is happening? Ask him. He will offer explanation. If the explanation is not good enough, then you make noise. That was what I did.
You know, Senator, we shouldn't forget that we're here in Lagos, and some of us also, well, should have actually collected ours. You wouldn't know if we have asked same questions as yourself, and if we were lucky or not to get our cards.
Everybody cannot get on the first day, or the second day, or the third day. Because in the polling booth, we have an average of 300 to 500. How can all of you collect your card in a day? They have now said, don't hurry. The cards are there. You can collect between now and end of December.
Well, let's close with this, the President's scorecard. We actually started off your session with this pamphlet, Footprints of Goodluck Jonathan, Transformation at a Glance, which you gave a copy to Elijah Lai Mohammed. You say he should read for him to see the true scorecard of the President. You think he hasn't actually been doing that before he scored the President
Was
low?
you not surprised that I heard it? If you have seen it, you will have said, no, I have seen it, don't give me. That was why I gave it to him. Read it, assess it, criticize it, and give options.
Okay, score him on corruption fight.
Corruption is a Nigerian factor. It's not presidential factor. What about corruption on the streets? The most critical part of our problem will ever be kidnapping, oil theft, vandalization of infrastructure.
And we can tie that to corruption, isn't it?
No, that's not. It's not corruption. It is attitude.
Sudden disappearance of files in the civil service?
Yes.
Not corruption?
It is an attitude which all of us must address. It's not a government thing. If you have an houseboy and you are paying him, why do they carry children away? Is that corruption? Nigerians' attitude is different from any part of the world. It's when they go out of Nigeria, they behave properly. Even when they come out of the aircraft and they know that we can kill, they will start to rush. As if, and then they will be saying, attend to me first because I'm a big person.
Now you say that is attitude, yet you admit that when we do move to other parts of the world, we tend to behave. The question will be, what is in that other part of the world that makes us behave and doesn't make us behave here?
Because they know there, if you offend, there is a strict, law that will catch you up and deal with you.
Whose duty is it to
in
ensure
Nigeria,
that strict law
we believe
works?
That word is more important than integrity. Everything in Nigeria is money, and it can buy you anything.
Senator Ogunlewe, would you agree with those who say that the biggest problem of this nation is the politicians?
No, it's our attitude. Attitude is of a politician too. Why can't a politician behave properly? Why can't a politician read and criticize constructively and offer alternatives?
The reason I ask that question is because a lot of people will say that it is the duty of government to ensure that the laws work. Every government that has come into power has mouthed how they're going to strengthen the rule of law. But if you say that the attitude of Nigerians has remained the same, then a lot of people will say that the law is definitely not working.
It's working. It's the attitude of the operator of the law. Look at it. Judiciary is not independent of the executive. You have to give the judiciary money. You have to buy for the chief judge of a state. You have to buy vehicle. The chief judge of a state must see the governor to survive. So why do you think we will not listen to the governor? We are now saying let every structure of the of our government be independent. Judiciary, let them be independent and not listen to the executive. Let the legislative arm, like all state House of Assembly, they are dependent of the executive to survive. There was an attempt to make them independent. It was impossible. So what can a court, a judge do when it's under influence of the executive? To get the house, he must listen to the executive. To buy vehicle, he must listen to the executive. For him to even buy equipment for the court, he must listen to the executive. So if you don't allow our structure and institution to work, that we pay the price. The lawyer will go to court. There will be no light. And then the judge cannot survive when the heat is there. And it's now to adjourn the case for another 3 months. You know, the case will take 5 years. That is not government. It's the attitude of Nigerians. The case can drag up to 10 years. Why should that be? So all these issues we must all address together. It's not government.
I'll take two tweets here before we close. First is a clarification from Donyi Okupe and it's from for Lai Mohammed and for viewers. He said it never took 19 days for the government to respond to the Chibok kidnap. The Security Council met within 48 hours. An investigation started instantly leading up to that 19 days before everyone got to hear their own response. But for Ejo Dimas, he wants us to ask concerning security before we leave, that please ask him, is the president afraid of Ijaw people? Why is he not in worry as promised by him?
How will I know? How will I know?
Because I'm sure he's asking this based on comments that we have. You said in 2010 some people made comments that they will make the country ungovernable, and we have actually seen how people have been making comments, jeopardizing security in so many parts of the country, and nothing has been done. This is not the first time we're getting to see people make comments and they get away with it. What do you think, in closing, we should do with such people who make such comments?
They should pay for it. If you discover that they are insinuating chaos, we should not just keep quiet. People should guide what they say about this country. You don't threaten the survival and existence of the country and get away with it because you want to make political points. And the opposition must be a lot more constructive. Check the facts, give options. It is a choice. In economic terms, you say scale of preference, opportunity cost. You want to make a choice. Why must I make a choice between this party and this party? What are the differences? What am I going to gain by voting for this party and not voting for this party? We should come to that level and stop criticizing and give options. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank you so very much, Senator Adeseye Ogunlewe. He's a former Minister of Works and also a member of the PDP. Many thanks for joining us this morning. We'll take a moment here. We'll return.